The Interpol headquarters in Lyon was a hive of activity. Agent Alin Keller, a woman known for her sharp mind and even more striking beauty, studied the latest reports. Art thefts, 3 in 3 months. Each target a different European city. The stolen pieces? All valuable, but with no clear connection. Her partner, Agent Ozan, a man whose serious face hid a sharp mind, joined her. They both knew this case was different. It could be huge, much bigger than they first thought. Alin sighed, tapping a photo of the latest heist. Another one gone. This time it was a museum in Vienna. The target, Gustav Klimt's The Kiss, a famous painting of a couple so passionately embracing, it had moved art lovers for over a century. Ozan leaned closer, his eyes scanning the report. The method's the same, precise, professional, almost respectful. It was true. Despite the thefts, nothing was ever damaged. The thieves were like ghosts, leaving no trace except for the empty spaces on museum walls, spaces that once held beautiful works of art, all about love. The pressure was on. Interpol's reputation was at stake. Alin and Ozan were put in charge of the investigation, a sign of their excellent track record. They had been partners for years, their bond strengthened by countless cases, their differences making them a perfect team. This case, however, felt different. It was as if the thief was playing a game, a dangerous game with love at its heart. And Alin and Ozan were the only ones playing. Alin stared at the photos, a knot of worry growing in her stomach. There was something about these thefts, something familiar, something she couldn't quite grasp. It was like a song she had almost forgotten, playing faintly in her memory, refusing to reveal itself fully. She pushed the feeling down, focusing on the facts. They needed to find this thief, and fast. Little did she know, this case would take them on a journey through a maze of stolen art, into the center of a dangerous plot, and face to face with her past. Days turned into weeks, the investigation taking Alin and Ozan all over Europe. They visited each crime scene, talked to witnesses, and followed leads that went nowhere. The pressure was building and the media was having a field day, calling the thief the Love Bandit. It was Ozan who first spotted the pattern. He stood before a whiteboard, photos of the stolen pieces scattered like a dark puzzle. His finger traced a line connecting each heist location. "Alin, look at this," he said, his voice strained with urgency. Alin joined him, her eyes following the line he had drawn. It wasn't random, it was deliberate, forming a heart across the map of Europe. Each city, a stolen masterpiece about love. She gasped. "A heart," she whispered, her face draining of color. It was then, in that moment of chilling realization, that the almost forgotten song in her mind became clear. She knew who the thief was. She knew him, and she knew his obsession with love, an obsession that was almost like madness. "It's Guney, isn't it?" Ozan asked, his voice barely audible. He had known Alin long enough to recognize the look on her face, the look that spoke of old wounds and deeper connections. Alin closed her eyes, the image of Guney, her former lover, flashing before her. Guney, the brilliant art historian, the charming rogue, the man who had loved her with an intensity that both excited and scared her. "It has to be," she finally said, her voice filled with a mixture of dread and acceptance. The realization hit them both hard. It changed everything. The case was no longer just about stolen art. It was personal, a twisted love letter written in stolen masterpieces. Alin felt a chill run down her spine. She knew Guney. He was meticulous, brilliant, and utterly ruthless when he wanted to be. Catching him wouldn't be easy. But more than that, she was afraid of what she might find. She was afraid of the man Guney had become and the feelings he might awaken in her. Alin knew she couldn't involve Ozan in this. Not yet. Not when her past was so entangled with the case. The chief, a stern man with a hard face, refused to act on Alin's suspicions. "We need proof, Agent Keller, not guesses. Feelings have no place in this investigation." Alin, however, was not one to be deterred. She knew Guney better than anyone. She knew his passions, his quirks, his love for the grand gesture. Alin decided to go rogue, a decision that could cost her job, her career, everything she had worked for. She contacted Guney through a series of go-betweens, using their shared past as leverage. She knew his weakness for romantic gestures, his love for the dramatic, and so she presented herself as bait, a challenge he couldn't resist. Their meeting was in Venice, a city built on secrets and romance. They met at a hidden cafe overlooking the canals, the air thick with unspoken words and the ghosts of their shared past. "Alin," Guney said, his voice a low murmur, his eyes holding hers with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. "You've grown even more beautiful." His words were a double-edged sword, a reminder of their past love and the danger that lurked beneath his charming facade. While Alin delved into the labyrinth of Guney's schemes, Ozan wasn't idle. He dug deeper into the case, uncovering a trail of fake companies and hidden accounts. He discovered that each stolen piece was insured for a huge amount of money, far more than their actual value. Someone was profiting from these thefts, someone with deep pockets and a reason to keep the stolen art hidden. His investigation led him to Vera Rostova, a glamorous art collector known for her lavish lifestyle and her even more extravagant art collection. Ozan approached Vera at a high society party in Paris, the air thick with the scent of expensive perfume and even more expensive champagne. She was as alluring as her reputation suggested, but beneath the charm, Ozan sensed a steely resolve. "Agent Demir, I presume," she purred, her lips curving into a dangerous smile. "I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage." Ozan played his cards close to his chest, revealing just enough to pique her interest. He needed to draw her out, to make her reveal her hand. Their conversation was a delicate dance, a game of cat and mouse played out in the opulent setting of the Parisian party. Vera was cunning, always staying one step ahead, but Ozan was relentless, his instincts telling him that she held the key to the mystery. As the night wore on, he learned of Vera's connection to a powerful Turkish crime lord named Omar Kaya. Kaya, known for his ruthless efficiency and his love for art, was rumored to be behind a string of high-profile art thefts.